So, welcome to the OSET NEM College Student Challenge webinar. My name is Rebecca White, and I will be presenting this webinar to you with the help of Erica. So, just to start with, just a quick introduction, so you can see, have a bit of a picture. Sorry about that. A picture to put some faces to our names. Erica and myself are working together as a part of Engineers of Tomorrow, and we are coordinating the activities around NEM, which I'll talk a little bit about, and more specifically, what you might be interested in more specifically for this webinar, the College Student Challenge. Erica, did you want to take a minute to say hi and introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Erica. Thanks, Becky, for the opportunity to say hello. I've been working on the National Engineering Month campaign and on the College Challenge since it was just a crazy idea that we had 3 years ago, and it's grown from a little idea and a little experiment into something that's quite successful and really a benefit for all parties involved. So we're happy to have you on the webinar with us tonight. And looking forward to giving you all the details, and hopefully you'll decide to sign up, and we'll be working together on the campaign this year.
Great, thanks, Erica. So just a quick highlight of what we're going to go over this evening. So we're going to do a little introduction to NEM, otherwise known as National Engineering Month, for those who may not have heard of it before. And then we'll lead into what how that ties into the College Student Challenge, and talk through the details of the challenge, the rules that go along with it, some tips on how to win, the prize, and then we'll tie back in some of the National Engineering Month messaging and theme for 2017, just so you understand how that all works together with the College Student Challenge. And then at the very end, we're going to go over some very important dates, so make sure you're paying attention to that part, because there's some things you don't want to miss there, and then we'll have some time at the end for some questions and answers. So the National Engineering Month College Student Challenge is open to engineering, technology, and applied science students at Ontario colleges. You may have seen some information on it. Maybe you've seen the flyer. You can have teams of up to 5 students. There's a cash prize incentive that goes along with it, along with a 1-year OSET student membership, and then some other things that we'll talk about that we think are pretty neat that go along with it too. And the reason we're promoting this challenge is that it ties in with National Engineering Month. So it's an organization of events that are happening at the same time as all the other events that are going on in March to celebrate National Engineering Month here in Canada. And that is a nationwide celebration, but we are really primarily focused, obviously, on the things that are happening here in Ontario for that. So I'll give you a little bit of background to what happened in National Engineering Month, which, by the way, happens in March in 2016. So last year we saw just over 300 events going on across Ontario. And that happened all over the province in dozens of communities. And what's really amazing about that is it's grown to that number over the course of the years that it's been going on. But what's really amazing is the outreach that it's having. So you can see the stats up here. So over 35,000 children were reached through these events. Children, teens, adults, and these are in-person events, so FaceTime with these people. Online reached over, 485,000. Traditional print media just over 400,000, and a whole lot of people even in radio. So there's all kinds of ways that we're trying to connect and promote and celebrate National Engineering Month in March. So how does OSET tie in with that, and how does the College Student Challenge have an impact on what's going on in March? Well, you can see from this little graph here that over the years, the events have continued to, the number of events have continued to grow. So back in 2002, OSET was just running 10 events in the month of March, and that's grown all the way up now to last year 48 events run by OSET. But what's really amazing is that the contribution to those total events from the College Student Challenge alone it's having a really great impact on that number, and we're seeing real results as a result of you guys, of the students that are involved and engaged in what's going on, and continuing to advance and drive those numbers even higher probably this year. A quick summary of what we did see last year. So you can see, I'm not going to go through the list in detail here, but you can see the colleges that were involved last year. There's 13 of them, and then the titles of the events that they were having in March. If you go to the website, which there will be links to the website, I'll go through that in a little more detail. But you can actually read a lot more about all of these events and the things that they did, and what went well, and some advice for other teams of things that they thought could have done better. So that is all great information for people that are interested in having their own event. This is just a snapshot. So throughout the month of March, there's a flurry of activity while the events are going on, and we, along with all of the event organizers and volunteers that are involved in the events and activities, are active on social media. So these were just to give, I wanted to be able to show you some of the faces and show you the excitement that goes along with the actual events themselves, and see how all the planning and hard work pays off when everything comes together for the team. So what does it mean to you to participate? Well, some of the things we wanted to highlight is potential networking with these events. So there's lots of exposure with your local OSET chapter. So for those of you who aren't aware, OSET is the governing body for the engineering technicians and technologists in Ontario. So it provides a really good opportunity to connect with those chapters and the people in those chapters. They're there to help and support, and it ends up being a lasting connection that can continue on long after you finish your College Challenge events. And then some real rewarding feedback we get from event organizers and volunteers on how the events are very meaningful. We heard a story from one of the event organizers this morning about the event that was organized by Centennial College last year, and without them even knowing, they had a school bus pull up to their event, and a whole bunch of high school students came and attended the activities that were going on for their event, and it really kind of helped them connect with what they were doing and the reasons why they were putting on their events, and to see the looks on the faces of the students and hear their questions and comments is really, really rewarding. So to get down to some of the fine print, the details, the teams that are involved in the College Student Challenge must put on one or more, you can do more than one, public outreach event, and that has to happen during the month of March, which is when National Engineering Month is happening. The teams can be up to 5 students working together, and that's a maximum, so if you want to have less than that, that is fine. Teams must work with their local OSET chapter, and we help to connect you with the chapter if you need help with that, and the people that are involved there and those resources. The teams, you can also work with faculty advisors at your colleges or other volunteer students. We have some volunteers, I guess, that have participated in the College Student Challenge previously and have graduated, so they're not eligible to continue participating, but they're still interested and engaged in what's going on. So they have come back and offered to act as an advisor for some of the teams that are interested in participating in the challenge this year. And then the teams must submit a self-evaluation event scorecard and a post-event info packet in order to be ranked in the competition. So there will be more information coming about the details of how that's done and what that means, but I really want to stress the importance of submitting those packages, those documents, in order to be ranked in the competition. So how do you win? So as I said, we'll go through some tips and hints and explanation of how the teams are evaluated. First thing is follow the rules. So all of those things I was just talking about, you gotta stick to what's laid out in the rules. If you don't submit your post-event package or your event scorecard, then you will not qualify to be ranked. So how do we rank and evaluate the teams? So it's not just based on the event alone. There's lots of work that goes into planning an event, and there's lots of work even that happens after the event is done. So we want to give teams credit for all that hard work. The fact that you're here now on the webinar with us is showing engagement. It's showing that you're planning ahead, you're organized, you're getting ready. If you're submitting your applications, your registration forms on time, all goes towards your evaluation and ranking. Post-event, so there's communications, more communications going on with us to make sure that we've got everything we need. Like I said, submitting those scorecards and the post-event info packages, making sure those are submitted on time is going to help your score. There are some attendee surveys that we'll be looking for. Photos. We love to see photos. The whole idea of this campaign is to promote national engineering and engineering technology. So pictures speak 1,000 words, and getting that out there for everybody to see is very valuable. And then, the event itself. So we're looking at engagement. So how with your event are you engaging with your OSET chapter, with your college, with the community, and having a meaningful impact with the event messaging and the event theme. There's lots more details on all of the stuff that I'm talking about on the website. So there's a link here to the website that you can refer to, and we will also post or make available a copy of this webinar that you can go back and refer to if you are interested. Some more hints. Be innovative. So we think it's pretty neat when teams come up with something new and do something different and connect and and engage with their audience and their community in a way that hasn't been done before. We think innovation and engineering and technology go hand in hand, so if you can be innovative with your events, then that's definitely going to help you out. There's some criteria or categories really around how we think about innovation when it comes to events. So if you want some more information on that, I've got the link up there again on the website, nemontario.ca/innovation. You can go there to find out more about that. And then a really good tip that we'll give you is to go back and look through all the comments from the events that were held last year. So if you remember that list of 13 events, 13 colleges, or 13 teams rather, that I showed you earlier, there are sort of detailed or bullet point comments on what they did, what went well, and more specifically, what other teams could learn from their event and apply to the event that they are planning to host this year. I can tell you from historically speaking, I guess, that the team that won the challenge last year went back and reread all the comments from the previous 2 years, I believe, and compiled all that information to put together the winning event last year. So very good information there, very useful if you can apply it. So the prize, like I mentioned, there's the cash prize, $2,500 to the winning team, and that also includes a year's free OSET student membership, which is great. But what we think is really exciting, and what we hear from the other student challenge members, people that have participated in the past, is that really what they get more out of it, even more than just the prize or the membership, is the valuable networking opportunities, the learning experiences they get from participating in events like this, teamwork, you're getting leadership there. You're becoming part of something, bigger than just what your one event is. You're part of National Engineering Month, so it's excellent experience. So that, fortunately, that goes for all teams involved. You don't have to be the winning prize to get that to gain that value out of your experience. So event messaging, we just wanted to take a couple minutes to touch on event messaging just so everybody understands, because this is part of the ranking for the events. We want everybody to understand the specific messaging that is part of National Engineering Month. There are 4 different messaging kind of criteria or categories, isn't really the right word, but 4 different ways of thinking about engineering and technology. The first one is engineering and technology solutions to a diverse set of 21st century challenges require a diversity of thinkers. There's a place for you in engineering and technology. And just to take a minute to kind of help you understand what this means to us, it's something that, in my professional experience over the years, I worked for quite a number of years in the pharmaceutical industry. I worked in the food industry. Throughout that time, I had the opportunity to work on many different teams for various projects. And I can say that when I think about diversity and I think about the different teams that I worked on and which ones were successful and which ones maybe not so much, it usually had a theme of diversity to the successful teams, and getting people from even different aspects of with different experiences are able to contribute and come together in a way that that when you have a team that is more sort of singularly focused, it just doesn't seem to have the same results that you would get out of a team that's got that diversity piece really built right into it. The next one is around engineering and technology shape the world around us, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So it's really neat to step back and think about how the everyday sort of work that we are doing is really having an impact on what's going around us, what's going on around us, and how, I mean, you can look back and see how things have changed. That's easy to do. And to think about how what we're doing today is shaping the world that we're going to be seeing in the future. And we do have to think about the impact that we're having and what that means. The third one is around engineering and technology, applying creativity and imagination to turn ideas into reality. So to contrast the sort of stereotypical ideas around engineering and technology, where you're sort of doing the more maybe sitting in front of a computer and doing math all day and the sort of hardcore crunching of data. We want to be very, I guess, open to the idea with this message that there's importance in bringing that creativity and imagination into engineering and technology, and the excitement that can happen when you see those ideas turning into reality. And that's, I mean, this messaging, I think, works really well with events when you're doing some sort of even hands-on type activity, and you can see people really getting engaged and getting excited about ideas that they might have, and seeing how their use of engineering and technology can take those ideas and bring them to life and create something with them. And then the last one is a long one to say, but it's an important one. Engineering and technology are essential to the safety, health, happiness, comfort, and efficiency of our friends, family, and distant neighbors, locally and globally, people working for people. Engineers and technologists make a world of difference. So this one you could do a lot with, again, to think about engineers and technologists just sort of having their heads down and crunching numbers and pushing forward, versus those engineers and technologists being mindful of happiness and comfort isn't something that people would necessarily connect with that industry. So if we can get that messaging and highlight that messaging with our events, that's really going to have an impact and really what we're looking for. The theme of National Engineering Month for 2017, which is what you are a part of with your event in the College Student Challenge, is there is a place for you in engineering and engineering technology. So just important to make a note of that, because we will be looking for how that theme is highlighted or displayed as part of your event. Again, this information is available on the website, so if you need to go back and look at it, it is all there. Okay, so some important dates to remember. We have coming up very soon our deadline for registering your teams. So November the 4th is the deadline to get your teams registered. It's a simple online form. You don't need to have any details ready about your events. Just get your team names and emails together and let us know that You want to be a part of the College Student Challenge. That's really all there is to it. So we'd ask that you can please get those registrations in by the 4th or sooner than the 4th if possible. And please pass the word around to any of your friends or anyone that you think might be interested in participating, that November 4th is coming soon, and they need to get their registrations in. Following fairly quickly after that is the deadline for funding. So as part of your event, you are eligible for some funding to host those events, and the form that needs to be filled out to get that funding needs to be done by November 18th. So the way the process works is that once you register, you will receive an email from us that will detail the next steps involved, and we will include that funding form in the email that we send back to you. So we're sending it right to you. You just need to complete it and get it back to us by the 18th. I do want to highlight one thing that has a bit of an issue that has come up in the past, just so everybody is aware, that funding form needs to have a signature on it from your OSET chapter. So we will also provide you the contact information for your OSET chapter, but you do need to go and get that connection with your chapter, get that signature on the form so that you can get it back to us by the 18th. Part of the reason for that is that the way the funding is distributed is through those OSET chapters. So we need to make sure that you have a good connection with your chapter. There's good communication happening there, so that you can get your funding from them and everything goes smoothly. So then we go into sort of planning and preparing for the events. In January, you can expect those scorecards I talked about to be sent out to you, and that first round of funding will be distributed. So if you notice there, I'm saying first round of funding. The way that happens with the funding is that the half of the funding is distributed to you in January, but the other half of the funding is not distributed until after the event is completed and we have received those scorecards back from you. So again, to stress the importance of those scorecards, not only do they impact your ranking, but they impact your funding as well. If we don't get the scorecards back, then you don't receive the second half of your funding. We don't like to see that happen. We try and do everything we can to remind you about that due date, but please make note that you do need to complete the scorecards to receive the second half of the funding. So just to go back, we were talking about January. In February, any merchandise that you have requested to have as part of your event will be mailed out to you. There's things that we offer that can, help set your event up, like posters and that kind of thing. So those things, you'll see those on the funding form itself. You can select what you want, and that will be mailed to you in February so that you can be all ready for your big event in March. So throughout the month of March, all the events are happening. It's a big celebration, and along with all the other events that are going on in NEM, in National Engineering Month, not just the College Challenge ones, but everything else is going on. Super fun time. Everybody gets excited. Social media just blows up with all the pictures and comments and sharing that's happening. So lots of fun happening in March. Then in April, the work's not done yet. So April is when the scorecards and that all-important post-event info package needs to be submitted back to us. That needs to be done by April the 5th. And then, as I mentioned, the second round of funding gets distributed in April. And just a reminder, again, the way that works is the funding is distributed through your OSET chapters. So again, communication and connection with your OSET chapter is extremely important to making the entire process smooth and seamless for everyone involved. And then, of course, in April, the winning team gets selected. So lots of fun that happens there. Get to do a presentation and announce that winning team and their big prize. So if you and you will want to stay in touch with us, you can reach myself or Erica. Our email addresses are up here. And you can also connect with us and the entire NEM community on social media. So we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The primary hashtag right now is NEM 2017, so we'd encourage you to use that and all the other hashtags that we've got going there. So that is how you will stay in touch with us. We will, like I said, make this webinar available to you so that you can go back and review it if you'd like to. And just a reminder again to refer to the website for any additional information or a review of anything that I have talked about. Please refer to the website, or please don't hesitate to send us an email, and we would be happy to support you with anything that you need in any way. So with that, I think what I will do is see if there's anything, Erica, that you wanted to add in before I open it up for questions.
No, I think that was a great summary, Becky. Thank you very much. And really glad to see the interest on the webinar here today. And I think one thing I could just highlight overall is that we're not just putting on events because it's fun, and we're not just competing because it's fun, but we're also doing this outreach campaign because we're trying to get people to understand something that most people really don't get. They don't really get engineering, and they don't necessarily think that technology is something that they can be a part of. But we're really flipping that around and saying, you know what, there is a place for you. We want to make sure that people feel inspired and excited to find out more, especially young people and especially people who haven't maybe felt welcome in this space before. So thinking back to your experiences as a kid, what you enjoyed and what your friends enjoyed, it really is a fun activity. It's a good time. As Becky said, you'll make connections with OSET chapter members who we hope you'll stay in touch with. Add them on LinkedIn. Never hurts to have those professional connections, especially as you graduate and look to find a job and things like that. So we know that everybody's busy. Everyone's got midterms to study for and exams to do and things, but this really is an investment not just in your own personal future as an engineering technician or technologist, but also in the future of the profession. So you really are part of something bigger than yourself. So hopefully that inspires you, and Becky and I are here to guide you through the process and make sure that you understand what's involved. So thanks for being a part of this. If you haven't registered already, we encourage you to do so. And Becky, I'm just wondering if we want to share on the line how many teams have registered so far, or shall we keep them in suspense on that?
I don't know. I think we could share. I mean, we've already got 6 teams registered, with some more that we know are in the process of registering. So there's some good, healthy competition that you can look forward to as a part of this challenge. So I guess what I'll do now is I'm going to